So here I am, I'm in a place called Heligoland, or Heligoland in German. And I've come here because the novel I'm writing at the moment, the first in the new 5-part series about the German U-boat aces of the 2 world wars. The first novel is going to begin here on this island in quite a remote location out in the North Sea. So I've travelled for 4 hours on a ferry from Hamburg down along the Elbe and reached this place. And as I look around now, there's no sign of any of the land. It's Germany's most remote island, and it's got a fascinating history. During the First World War, this was the location of the main U-boat flotilla station that served to try to stop the blockade that the Royal Navy, the British Royal Navy, had in force against the Germans. So this is where the first novel starts. This is where my U-boat aces are based in that first novel for the majority of the time. So I've come here to see it for myself. This place has a fascinating history. So it was originally Danish, and then in the early 19th century it was taken by the British, and the British held this island for most of the 19th century. And then very late in the 19th century a deal was broken between the British and the Germans, that the British would give the Germans this island in return for the Germans essentially turning a blind eye to the British taking Zanzibar off the east coast of Africa, which obviously is a much bigger island. So I rather suspect that the British had the better end of the deal. As I say, in the First World War, this was a U-boat station when U-boats were a relatively new invention. After the Second World War, the British took the island back from the Germans for a while, and they decided that they didn't want the Germans to be able to station U-boats here ever again. So what they did was they tried to blow the place up, essentially. They wired up the biggest non-nuclear explosion that mankind's ever created, and it's actually shaped the landscape here. It didn't completely eradicate the island from the map, as some people suggested that had been the British intention, but it did make quite a mess of the topography. And for a few years afterwards, the RAF used the island essentially as a place to train in dropping bombs. So it's had a lot of bombs dropped in this place, and consequently all the buildings on the island are from the 1950s. So the place is kind of stuck in the 1950s, but with this extraordinary topography of bomb craters.